Welcome to the Redirect Podcast. I'm Abigail Freshley.
And I'm Emily Rojas. The Redirect Podcast is the show where we shift the conversation back to books. We discuss themes from some of our favorite books and how those themes show up in our real lived experiences.
On today's episode, we are recapping Project Hail Mary and the book to film adaptation.
Before we get into that, if you love the show, I would love for you to support us in a few simple ways. First, you can go on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and leave us a 5-star review and let us know how much you love the show.
You can also follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Redirect Podcast. You can follow Emily on all platforms at Emily Rojas Reads. And you can follow me on TikTok at Fabigail11 and on Instagram at Fabigailinsta. And what else? Oh, sharing our show with a friend is actually the best way to grow our community of book-loving nerds and the best way to help support our podcast. So if you'd like to do that, we would love for you to do that. And yeah.
It feels like it's been a really long time since we've recorded. I feel like I'm losing. Like I lost what I was supposed to say.
Yeah, we were recording like boom, boom, boom all out there for a little while.
So, and now we're back.
Yeah, and also normally we're a little bit ahead of the game on recording like the episode, and today we are recording on the day that the episode normally comes out.
Yeah, so
or no, the day after.
No, the day.
Is it Wednesday?
It's Tuesday.
Okay, it's Tuesday. Oh yeah. So this is the long-awaited recap of Project Hail Mary, the movie.
Yes, I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Remind me, when did we first read the book?
Let me pull up on my Storygraph, actually, and I can tell you exactly.
Did you reread it in advance of this movie? Okay,
so I first read the book in 2021, and it took me one day, according to Storygraph, which tracks.
Oh my gosh.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, because it's
so good. And then I did reread it in 2023. I did not reread it in advance of this book. That's longer ago than I thought.
That is interesting.
I thought I had read it more recently than that, but yeah, I just didn't have the...
That is going to be a very interesting data point, I think.
It is, I think,
because
too.
I
did reread it.
First read it like a few years ago. Uh-huh. Maybe I first read it in 2020. It was like 2022 or 2023 because we had already lived in LA when I was reading it. And then I listened to the audiobook because everyone always cites this as like one of the best audiobooks.
Yes.
So I listened to the audiobook in advance of seeing the movie, and it really was that good. Like the production of the audiobook really is that great. But I think it helped me hold in like more stark contrast the differences between the book and the movie. So yeah. Okay.
Yes.
We both love the book.
We love the book.
That's been established. We've talked about it before. What do we love about the book? Well, first of all, if you don't know anything about Project Hail Mary, it's a story about a guy named Ryland Grace who wakes up and he doesn't know where he is. And he knows a lot about science and he knows a lot about math, and he realizes that he's in space, and slowly over time that he's been in a coma, and slowly over time the memories from before the coma are coming back, and he realizes that he's on a mission to save Earth from this extraterrestrial threat that is dimming the sun.
Yes.
At a rapid rate. And so this is a Project Hail Mary to save all mankind. There was 2 other astronauts on the ship with him. They did not wake up from the coma. So he's on his own, but maybe not for long.
Maybe not for long.
It's the magic of the book, I think, is Ryland's inner monologue.
Mm-hmm.
His relationship with Rocky.
Obviously, yeah.
Like hearing the way he like thinks through all the sciencey stuff. I would normally like that, but I really liked it in the book.
Yes.
And I was wondering how are they going to portray that in the movie? And we got our answer. But first, is there anything else you'd like to add about your experience reading the book?
Yeah, I think you nailed everything you said. I think this is one of my go-to, if someone asks me for a book recommendation, it's probably at least 50-50 odds that this will be the book I will recommend to them. I think it's universally appealing. Like, I think it has something for everyone. And I agree with you with the science. Like it makes the world feel real, I think. It doesn't make you feel dumb. It makes you feel like you're understanding what's going on the way that Andy Weir writes the science. But it also makes it feel like, oh, this is really happening. Like the science checks out. Even though maybe it doesn't, I don't know. But like it feels like it does. And so I feel like that helps you feel like you're grounded in the world. And so I love it. I love it. And I love any...
Yeah, we're like, oh, this is making sense. I'm getting it. And just the way that a scientist would think. It's like, oh, this like nerdy junior high school teacher, like who's on a spaceship. He's like, the experiments he does to even figure out that he's in space or what part of space he's in, like what solar system he's in, like things that I would die immediately.
Like
I would die immediately.
I'm simply not doing this.
I would just simply die. But also just him being alone for so much in space, and then before he meets Rocky, but then even then being limited, like just that is so hard to write. Like he has no one to really bounce off of except for in the flashbacks. Like he's just totally
it's just
vibing with himself.
Yeah. And I love like any version of the plot device or trope where you, the reader, are finding out things along with the main character or whatever, whoever's experiencing it. Like I just love that. And I think this is the shining example of that as a plot device. Like he doesn't know anything, you don't know anything, and you get to learn it alongside him and react alongside him and like see how it affects him the more he learns. And I just love that part of this book as well.
Yeah. So I think maybe we go through the movie, like kind of section by section, and then compare it as we go to parts of the book. How does that sound?
Yeah. Love to.
I mean, how are you envisioning this? Does that work?
No, I love that. I do. Can we talk, like, how did you feel about it overall? Can we talk about that
overall about the movie? Yeah. We forgot about that part. I liked it. Yeah. I think I walked away being like, I liked the book more. I thought I thought the book was better, but I think the movie was its own thing. So I think I still prefer the book, but it was good. So there's a couple of things I learned about the movie post viewing, which is that they did not use any green screens.
I learned that as well post viewing, which is crazy to me.
And that Rocky was a puppet.
That was another thing I learned too.
I think those two things, looking back, made all the difference. Like an actor working across from a bunch of tennis balls versus a puppet that's able to kind of express and emote, I think makes a huge difference, especially when there's no other actors on set. And it just didn't seem like a friend pointed this out, like, you know, like technology advances so much. And so when you have like CGI or when you have green screen, like in 10 years, it kind of looks horrible. Yeah. Because your technology has advanced so far. Right. But like it would seem more artistic. Anyways. Yeah. What did you think?
I mean, I loved it. I loved it. I agree with you that it's interesting that I didn't reread it, because there were a lot of things that I've now seen people on TikTok be like, well, they left this out. And I was like, oh, actually that didn't bother me at all, because I forgot that or whatever. Like I wasn't thinking about that. I was just experiencing the movie. And obviously there were some like more significant changes, but I think like of all movie, if to me this is on the level of Heated Rivalry, like where maybe different. I do think the TV adaptation maybe improved on the source material with Heated Rivalry, but just in terms of like being true to the book in the ways that mattered to me, like the feelings I felt were the same, the way I felt about Rocky was the same, like the hopefulness of it, like all of those things felt the same to me. And so I think that there were changes, of course, but some I like, some I didn't like, whatever. But yeah, the vibe overall was the same. I thought if I saw this movie and had never read the book, I would think this is probably one of my favorite movies. Like it was an excellent movie, and
it was one of my favorite books. I saw it with Zach.
Yeah,
I saw it with Zach, who has not read the book, and he really, really liked the movie.
Yes. Yeah, I saw it with my dad, who has not read the book. I will say,
my things I didn't like about it.
Yeah,
I thought that. Yeah, Ryland Grace in the movie compared to Ryland Grace in the book. I think in the movie he was a little dumb. Like he was a little like silly, stupid, like too goofy, and like in the book, because you get so much more of his inner monologue, you hear him like piecing things out, or like being curious or interested or feeling more of like this duty to save Earth and all this stuff. So I thought that he lost a little bit from book to screen, but I think also that some of that was just a choice, like of how Ryan Gosling wanted to do the character, and it was like a choice to be different. It didn't feel like a cheap imitation. I just didn't like the choice as much. I also, in my mind, the ship of the Project Hail Mary was a lot smaller than it was portrayed in the movie. And I don't remember in the book there being like a huge LED screen room where you can like experience Earth.
No, I don't think that was, but it worked. I think for the visual, like certain scenes that happened in there, I feel like you needed something like that. And really, like, you need something like that because, I mean, they gloss over how Rocky learns to speak English. Like, that's an incredibly painstaking process. And so to
it's
have
like a long part of the book,
to be like, water, I can point to this picture, you know, like that's probably a little bit helpful. So there has to be something like that helped in the book world too.
Yeah, I just thought that the ship was too big because I feel like in the book, there's all this emphasis on this was a rush job. It is tiny, like you don't have space to move around, all this stuff. I also thought, what else did I think? Oh, I missed, and I get why this can't be in the movie because it's just kind of boring in a movie when it's not in the book, but learning more about like Iridian biology, learning like the Iridian culture, like there's this whole streak in the book where they're like, oh, it's Iridian culture rule, or it's a human culture rule, like whatever, like that kind of stuff, or the conversations and the theorizing that Rocky and Grace do about like, do you think that we like evolved from a common ancestor?
Right.
That's so boring in a movie, but works in the book.
Totally.
And that's why the book has the edge for me.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But improvements, the big improvement I would say is in the third act of the book, there's like this whole thing where the Talmiba like infect the fuel tanks and they have to clean them out. And it's like, they just kind of simplified that with the Talmiba, like learning to adapt out of the Xenonite.
Yes. And
I was like, fine, that's fine. Because in the book, that felt a little laborious. Like, oh my God.
Yeah. And
another
I think,
like thing.
That was one of the things I actually did remember that it was a change. And I was like, there's already so much, like they do a really good job at keeping the stakes really high in the movie. And so there's already so much where you're like, oh my God, are they going to make it out of this? And so I liked that even though that is kind of like the main climactic point of the movie, I like that they didn't drag it out. It would be a little more dragged out if they had done it like it is in the books.
It was dragged out in the books.
Okay. This is the climax, but it's not drawn out. We're getting there. We're resolving it. And then we're, doing the resolving action.
But even to that point, like I enjoyed reading in the book about the progression of the Talmiba farms and the like they cut out the whole nitrogen thing about like how there was nitrogen on board because one of the other astronauts wanted to die by nitrogen poisoning or nitrogen asphyxiation or whatever. So like I enjoyed that in the book. I get why it doesn't translate to the movie. So I do think that was one material improvement. I also thought, another big character difference to me was Strat in the book versus Strat in the movie. I think in the book, Strat is she's a lot harder and tougher and like rough edges. In the movie, she's a little softer. And Oh, and the big difference at the end.
Yes.
Which is that you see that the data got back to Earth.
I know, and I kind of loved that. And I did like the change to Strat's character because I think, I don't know, like to be the only woman in the movie, it would be tough if she like, I mean, I get her character too, and I don't know, I think I've seen people complain about her characterization in the movie. I understand why, like, and I do think some of her like power that she has in the book is toned down a little bit in terms of like the access to the world government and people kind of just doing whatever she says a little bit. That's not fleshed out, but I just liked that it was like, I believe in you. And also I have no choice but to do what I'm doing for the sake of humanity. And I just like that part felt a little bit more empathetic and not just like, well, you gotta go. Sorry.
Yeah, you saw the cost to her.
Yeah.
Because there is a cost to like being in the role that she is in.
Yes.
And that was the actress did a good job of portraying that.
I think. Yeah.
I mean, I know for like the movie, you just don't have time to do everything you could do in the book, but
right.
You know, I do feel like we missed. Like, I enjoyed learning about the other astronauts, the other people in the Project Hail Mary program.
Yeah.
Which kind of got cut from the movie. But yeah, Strat was a big difference.
Yeah,
for sure.
That was the thing I noticed the most, having not very recently read the book, and then the climax, like I said. So those were the two big ones that I was like, oh, okay, that's different, but I liked it. I don't know. And the ending, I did like that. I loved that we got it. Made like it brought a tear to my eye. I'm like, oh, he did it, you know. And then him also not
and to see the ship, like the boat that she's on, like moving through like what looks
ice.
like Antarctic water. Yes. Oh my gosh.
And then him, I almost like him better. So we're obviously not going in order at all, but we can,
it's fine.
We can go back.
We won't do that. No, it's fine. We can just talk about it.
I like at the end him not being shown choosing to come back to Earth, because that always did feel a little weird to me in the book, because like, well, he's lived almost his whole life on the like Iridian planet. Why would he go back especially in the book when you don't know if he was successful? Like, did he even save Earth? Is he about to
yeah, in the book we don't know if he goes back or not. That's left ambiguous.
Oh, okay. Why did I feel like it was for sure he like gets in the ship book, and goes back?
In the book, it's shown like he's in his little habitat on Arid. He is like kind of old.
Yeah.
He's like experiencing like pain on his joints because of the gravity of Arid.
Yeah.
And they let him know that the ship is like that their scientists are now able to send him back to Earth. Okay. And he's like, I'll think on it.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was the same.
Me misremembering.
But
yeah.
I don't know. I think that was still a question. After I read the book the first time, and then after I watched the movie, I had the same question, which is just like, I can't decide in my own headcanon, does he go back to Earth?
See, I feel like he does in the book. Ryland in the book does. I feel like Ryland in the movie does not. Because I feel like maybe I'm misremembering the book. I didn't realize until we talked that it's been 3 years since I read it. So my memory could be faulty, but I feel like in the movie it was played up a lot more. The whole thing of like him, like the question of, do you have somebody you would die for? Being sort of the central question of like him going back to save Rocky, and then him leaving Earth, and he doesn't want to go because he doesn't have anyone on Earth that he would die for, but he does have someone in Rocky who he would die for. So I feel like that question in the movie coming up a little bit more, at least in my memory, makes me think he stays. But I feel like in the book, maybe he would want to like see, did he make it? Also, obviously he's a lot older in the book ending, so he like is sort of struggling, so like maybe he wants to go back and just see before he like dies. I don't know. So I don't know, that's my interpretation in my head.
I don't know. I think what I want is for him I don't know, I think I want him to go back to Earth. I think I want him to go back to Earth, and because I know that Earth was saved, so like I want him to go back and get his flowers, I guess, or at least have establish communication with Earth. Like, yeah,
maybe that's,
you know, like to be able, to him to be able to like chat to them about what's going on, but he's just way too far away to do that. So, like both options make me feel sick. Like the idea of him going to Earth and not going to Earth, they both make me feel sad. And, I liked the reminder also that because like in the book there's more sadness or like longing for Rocky about like whether or not his mate waited for him, especially because he was gone for like decades.
Dude.
The fact that she did wait was so neat. I wish we had seen her.
I wish we had seen her too. In the movie, when he's like, how long have you guys been together? And he's like 180 years or whatever. And then Ryland's like, oh, wow, really long time. And he's like, it's not enough time. Are you kidding me? Why is the Rocky Adrian love story the most beautiful thing I've ever heard?
AO3. Oh my God. Is there Rocky Adrian on AO3?
I'm sure there is. But that brought a tear to my eye too, because it's like, the love, like, I liked that a lot. I love that about this.
Yeah.
I love that about this and the movie and for the book too, like taking this thing that's happening not just to Earth, but to every single star in their solar system, basically. Like, it's happening everywhere. And it's this big thing. And also, like we said, the science is really heavy in the book, especially. But like it's humanized in these like two characters and their love for each other and their love for the people back on their planets and their interpretations of themselves and their role in like the universe. And I just like that it's this huge thing, but it's brought down to this like individual level that makes it feel relatable. Like, I don't know. It's just something about that to me that's like really
and you know what?
Moving.
I think that is maybe given like the connectedness between like the humans and the Iridians or the relationship with Grace and Rocky, knowing in the movie, having it portrayed that the data about everything gets back to Earth and Earth is saved, and also they're seeing videos where Grace is talking about Iridians, talking about 40 Iridini, about Rocky and all this stuff. It's like, oh my gosh, like then what even happens? Like, are crazy people on Earth now going to go try and find Arid? Are they going to be horrible and colonize other planets? Like,
look, you know, there's story building on Earth, but yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, because like Ryland Grace is like one person, but mankind is just
the best.
Bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Does Strat release the Rocky tapes or does she just keep those?
No.
Yeah. I don't think
she just
takes
the Talmiba.
Yeah.
No.
I think
that's like,
yeah, that's top secret.
You know what?
That's
actually,
classified.
Okay. This is like a left turn, but I was talking to Zach about this last night about aliens because we were talking about Project Hail Mary.
Sure.
And Zach was saying, like, if I became president, like, the first thing I would do is be like, okay, what's the deal with aliens? Like, what do we know? And then I was like, I'm like so sure that the government does have data on aliens, except for this one fact. Do you think that Donald Trump could learn about aliens and then keep his mouth shut?
No. I think if there is data on aliens, he does not know it. He doesn't know it.
They've kept it from him. They said we can't. Yes. Because he would immediately say
he would be true.
He would not. He would not be able to hold that in. So that's like that actually, when I thought about it last night, was the biggest blow to my belief in aliens. Was that like if he knows if anyone knows about it, it would be the president, and if the president knew about it, everyone wouldn't be knowing about it. Because there's no way he could shut up.
Yes, I agree. Either that or it's so boring. Like the data they do have is so boring that he just doesn't even comprehend or process it.
No, they said it to him in a way that's really difficult for him to understand. Like they were like using scientific language, talk about like extraterrestrials and like
the most boring graphs.
He just didn't understand. Like, he didn't see a picture of a green alien.
Yeah,
so he was
like, oh,
it didn't like
real. Yeah, I agree with that.
Maybe that was a good strategy. Whoever like at the
if you want to come on the podcast, we'll blur your identity. Tell us, does like the
whoever at NASA
know?
did this, like you did it a great
job,
executed.
Keep up the good work.
Okay, but if you were on the Project Hail Mary, and let's say you knew science stuff, okay,
sure,
like if you had his technical knowledge, but you woke up same circumstances, you don't really know why you're there, and you saw an alien whip pull up right next to you, would you meet? What would you do? Because like he tries to get away a little bit. Yeah. And then he can't. I mean, you have to go try and meet them, right? I don't know.
I guess. Yeah, you're alone. Yeah. Yeah, I probably would. It might take a long time, but at a certain point, it's like, well, I'm completely alone out here. So what do I have to lose? And I was already going to kill myself anyways. Like, if the alien's here, you know?
I would be so freaking scared.
So
like in the
I don't
book,
want to be in space
Ryland
at all.
is so excited and he's like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
first contact with aliens. Oh my gosh. I'm like, this is it. I'm contacting an alien.
No.
I would
not
not
be that
be.
way.
I would be so scared.
I would be terrified. I would be scared. I would be very afraid. No. But I liked it. I liked how they showed Ryland a little bit in the beginning on Earth, and how him as a teacher, like talking through things helps him figure them out. And so then that like feels like it comes full circle when it's like, okay, he has someone to talk to now. Like it doesn't feel like obviously Rocky also contributed like information and like he's also intelligent, but it's almost like he didn't. Even if Rocky had been dumb, it would have taken him longer, but it would have helped him get there just by having someone to like explain things to and talk things through with, and to feel like he was not by himself, just in a void. Like he needed that. So I liked that. And I like the, like shout out to teachers. They will be the ones to save us, probably.
Yeah.
Like I just liked that vibe of him a lot, and how that came through in the movie, especially.
Oh, the whole thing. I mean, I think I don't even want to think about what happened in the intervening years on Earth while the Project Hail Mary was on its voyage.
Not great.
But even the idea, it almost felt like fantasy even to think that everyone would work together to get the Project Hail Mary going to begin with. It was a super bummer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because there's just, once again, that is not real. That would not happen. If the sun was actually dimming, no way.
Hoarding resources.
Yeah, immediately. And people might try to send individual missions for individual countries, but like, I just don't see this happening.
And a ton of people would be like, that's a hoax. That's not happening.
Yeah.
Everything's a hoax.
Yes.
There would be like a lot of people. It
would be bleak.
People are all of a sudden believing scientists.
Yeah.
People are like,
like without any questions.
To COVID. Yeah.
Yeah. Global warming.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're living through this right now. It's just a little bit more slow moving. So, that's bleak. That's a bummer to think about. But at the same time, it's a nice world to live in, isn't it? We need Ryland Grace to save us, and to Rocky, and to bring us all together. But
yeah, it was delightful. I'll definitely rewatch at home. Like,
yes,
I really, really enjoyed it. So,
yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I thought it was a good adaptation.
A great adaptation. To me, yeah, I thought it was great. I
mean, I think my top adaptations of all time are probably like Hunger Games and Heated Rivalry. I think this is I don't think it ranks as highly in adaptation comparison, but it's up there. Like it's A-, I think, to me.
Yeah, something I was thinking about too when I've been watching people's reactions to this, and I was thinking like, when you read a book, you're having an individual experience with that book, and you're interpreting it through your lens of life. And then there's millions of people doing that, right? Like millions and millions of people reading Project Hail Mary and thinking about it through their experiences and their, perceptions and just how they interpret words. And then one director or writer or actor reads that and they do their version of it, and they probably make changes, not even just based on their perception, but like obviously, like we said, what plays well on screen and all these things. And so you're distilling a million experiences of a book down to one version based on what the one person who read it, what they felt when they read the book. And so, yeah, I think with that in mind, I like this interpretation of it. It's obviously not one-to-one, but nothing could be. And I thought, like, we can only hope, this is how I feel about everything. We can only hope for people to adapt books who care about the books and who want to do a good job and who put effort into making a good piece of art, whether it's 100% faithful or not. That's all I want. Like, I think about like Greta Gerwig's Little Women. Like, I love that movie, and it's its own thing, and it's its own take on the book, and it's not like a straightforward telling, and I still think it's amazing. It's still one of my favorite adaptations. Like,
people are like this on social media too. Like, they see something that doesn't align with their specific experience, and they're like they feel so compelled to be like, yeah, well, this doesn't align with my view of the world and my experience, so I'm really offended by it. Like I have one particular TikTok post right now that is crazy, like the way that I made one little video of like using some audio being like, I'm never gonna go on a GLP-1, whatever.
Yeah.
The way that thousands of people are in the comments fighting each other about GLP-1s and like their personal experience, and then applying their personal experience to every other person.
Right.
It's like I'm watching animals in a zoo. It is it's shocking. Crazy. And like that's a really great point. Like I think I still prefer the book. Yeah. And yet you have to be able to say like, but that's fine. This isn't the book. Yes. The job of this director and writer was not to make a movie of my interpretation of the book.
Exactly.
It was to get in a room with a bunch of other people who are writers and directors and like make an artistic expression of this book. Just if you like the book better, read the book.
Yeah. Okay. And just view these adaptations as their own thing. I'm begging people to view adaptations as their own thing and to judge them on their own. Yeah. Obviously, you can we complain all the time, you know? I love to complain. So you can complain if it's like not the thing you wanted, but I think like I don't know. It's like back to the People We Meet on Vacation, obviously a very different caliber of film. But it's like, oh, you took some things that were word for word from the book, but you missed the whole heart of it. This to me changes things, but the heart was the same. And I feel like that's what I want in my adaptations.
I mean, you can still say this movie that is an adaptation of this book that is totally separate was bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you could still
it's its own thing.
It was bad.
Right.
Like, thank God it's its own thing, because a horrible adaptation of People We Went on Vacation did not do anything to impact the book.
My book is still the same.
I can still read the book and I still have it and I still have my mental image, and no one can take away the first time I read the book.
Exactly. So just view them as their own thing.
It's called like, they call it bean soup, right? Like,
yeah,
I need to pick out the bean, like my little thing. It's just like,
okay.
I feel like that's like my most Republican take.
Suck it up.
Not everything's about you.
Not everything is about you. Oh my God. So anyways, I love this though. I loved it. And I think it'll appeal to non-book readers and readers alike.
I think very much so. I mean, Zach was like, I didn't think I wouldn't like this movie, but I was surprised by how much I did like it. So, yeah. I can't wait to watch it again. It was great. And I really liked Ryan Gosling. He was obviously different, as we discussed, from Ryland Grace in the books, but I thought he did I think it's a near impossible task to ask an actor to basically do an entire movie by themselves with a puppet, and he is the most charming, charismatic person, so it works. Where a lot of other actors, it might have been boring. So I thought it was great. And I saw that occasionally, on a totally separate note. Oh no, go ahead.
I saw that sometimes they had his kids come in and read Rocky's lines in his ear while he was acting. So some of the he was like, sometimes I'm laughing or like making an expression at something he says. It's because it was my daughters or whatever in my ear. So I thought that was really nice too.
That's cute. That's really, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was going to say, on a totally unrelated note, everyone should be really careful about how much work they get done and what work can be done in reversed or not reversed. Yeah. Apropos of nothing.
Exactly.
Anyway. Any last thoughts about Project Hail Mary?
No, I think you guys should go see it. I think you should read the book.
Everyone should read the book.
Everyone should read the book.
I think,
I'm telling you,
I really think you're going to rob yourself of something if it's not a one-to-one exchange. I think even if you love the movie, it's its own experience. Please read it. Or listen to the audiobook.
Go in any order. Good. Yeah. If you've already watched the movie, I still think you can go read the book. But
do both.
Yeah. Thumbs up.
All right. Should we get into other book news or recent reads first?
Let's do other book news first. I feel like we always end on recent reads. If you want to discuss my notes.
Other book news, a little trailer announcement has dropped for the next season of Bridgerton, which is so soon because we just finished the last season of Bridgerton.
I know.
And there was much speculation about who would be the star of the next Bridgerton season. And it is
dun, 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 dun.
Francesca. Frankela.
I will be tuning in even if you don't force me to, for once. I can't wait to see this one.
And I don't even know if it will be worth it for us to read the book since it's literally so different.
I'm not doing that. I don't care about all you book readers who are mad. I don't care about you guys. I really don't. I mean, actually I don't. I'm going to say if you're in good faith. I don't think any of you guys are in good faith.
Here's what I'm going to say. First of all, I believe the best of our listeners. I don't think that our listeners
I don't think they're homophobic.
But to our listeners, if you start hearing people say, oh, it should be girls and boys, Michael's a boy, don't tell them anymore. Don't share this show with a friend.
Yeah,
or maybe do, but no homophobes.
No homophobes
welcome on this show.
We want to be really clear about that.
We love gay stuff. We love gay people, love gay books. We have a mug I have a mug in my shelf that I got from redirectpodcast.com where you can buy merch that says I heart gay books. So
that's what you missed at the beginning. Yeah. But yeah, redirectpodcast.com. Show your love for gay books and for Michaela and Francesca, because I don't care. Yeah. I don't care about any complainers. And I'm so excited for this. And I can't wait to see how it all comes together. Yeah, what?
Do you think there's going to be a concurrent Eloise side plot? Like,
I think so.
Is she going to get a match? Is it going to be like a Francesca thing where we're starting to plant seeds of her in past seasons? Like,
because I feel like Eloise already went on a little bit of, she's starting her journey in this past season where she's kind of like not happy, but also like, I felt like she was moving a little bit in the right direction of like wanting a match one day maybe, or realizing how inconvenient it might be for her life if she doesn't find a match. Whether those two are the same is really debatable, but yeah, I think she'll continue. Maybe she's not even going to meet someone or whatever. We've talked about whether they're going to change her story, seeing as it's kind of like seems to be a departure from how they're portraying her in the show, is my understanding. Although, again, I have not read her book, and I probably won't.
However, unless I make you. However, I will say that Zach years. Okay, excuse me. After years of being like, I don't want to watch Bridgerton, he has started getting into Bridgerton. Sure. And so we've been rewatching the seasons. Nice. And Eloise's love interest from the books does feature prominently in season 1.
Okay.
He is the guy who ends up marrying Marina. It's her like lover's brother who's like, okay, I'll marry you and like be, to like save your reputation and to like take care of your kids,
Yeah. Okay.
A la Boaz and Ruth.
Sure. Classic.
Classic. But in the book, Marina then passes away.
Sure.
And then they had children together.
Right.
So anyways, they have at some point in the series, they have soft launched the character that is Eloise's match in the book. So he's there to come back to, but also the show has demonstrated that they would be willing to take a total departure. So
sure. I'm interested.
Maybe she... Yeah. Oh, and there's this whole other thing of like, there's now a new Lady Whistledown.
Yeah.
That's not Penelope.
So interesting. Yeah.
So who is that?
Yeah. I'm fascinated by that too. I know people are mad about that.
Maybe that'll be part of... Shut up. Maybe that'll be part of Eloise's arc. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like that's a little too predictable. I don't know. I feel like it won't be Eloise, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I have been wrong before. So I can't wait. And I'm really excited that this will be the next season. And that we're recording on the same day it's announced. Love it.
When is it coming out? Did they say?
Probably not until like next year.
They're already like filming it.
Well, good for them.
Season 5 release date. Okay. Between late 2027 and early 2028.
All right. So. We're all still here by then. We'll recap.
We'll see you then. Yeah.
Maybe.
That was the Google AI summary, so that could be wrong.
No, that feels right. I mean, they take a long time in between these seasons. We gotta get.
Oh, speaking of like taking a long time for stuff, we never talked about this on the podcast.
Oh.
Which is that the release date for Unrivaled got pushed back.
Oh, yeah, we did never talk about that on the podcast, just in real life.
I think because we were so upset about it that we just...
Yeah, we were in mourning.
Like, I'm not like mad about it. I'm not mad. No. I'm just disappointed.
Yes.
I get it. Like, Rachel Reed, your life's got turned upside down. You have a chronic illness. Take your time. Write the good version of this book.
Yes.
Don't write a shitty version. Don't rush it.
It's just surprising to me.
But, know, I did have something to look forward to in this hellscape of a year. So
it was surprising to me to find out that it was announced and promoted so heavily before it had been finished being written. That is the weird part. So, I get it. Her and the publisher, I'm sure, were trying to like not miss the moment, which I think is valid, but take your time, but also someone else, please. For the love of God, please announce a book. It's not too late for a book to be announced for this year. Anybody.
This is
I mean, I know books are coming out. There will be books to read, but, it just feels like a drought of a lot of people I can normally rely on. So that's a bummer.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
If you guys have any recs, like if you're listening to this and your favorite author is releasing a book this year and you're like passionate about it, by all means, send us a DM because like we will probably read it.
Yeah.
We are like not that discriminating.
We're very malleable and easily influenced, and you wouldn't believe the stuff we've done because people asked us.
You wouldn't believe how little planning we do for these podcasts.
Yeah, we don't have like a months-long content calendar, so please DM us. We'd love to talk about your stuff. Look, you have to be amenable in this world, and we are. We live for you.
Yeah, we. Succession fans, we here for you. We here for you. But we here for you. We here for you. Okay. Speaking of books we may or may not want to read, this brings us to our next piece of book news. Emily, would you like to share that with the class?
The book news is allegedly, maybe, that famed Wolfstar canon compliant fan fiction, All the Young Dudes, may or may not, heavily may, be getting published in a traditional book deal.
And not by Taylor Swift.
Not by Taylor Swift. I saw something, so someone posted in a Marauders Reddit, again, this is not a reliable source, and they were like, we work at a small, like, Scottish or, I don't know, so one of those countries, publishing house, and it couldn't have been Scotland, because it was, anyways, they were like, we picked up the translation rights for, All the Young Dudes. We're like a really small house. We just, like, we have Marauders fans on staff. Again, this could all be fake, but they were like, it did sound kind of legit, and they had the person's name as Louise McBean, which would be Miss King Bean 89, I suppose. And they were saying it would be a 3-book series, loosely following All the Young Dudes, but also that I think Sirius was supposed to be like maybe, I guess that's the magic part. Like Remus would be a werewolf and Sirius would be like a mage or something. I just don't.
That's just the same thing.
It's just the same thing.
That's the same story.
I don't. And okay, so this, if you don't know, this is a fic. It is something we've actually talked about multiple times on this podcast. It is canon compliant, which is one of the weird parts of this, because typically the things that have been selected to be published have been fan fictions that have made it to publishing, are like completely alternate universe, not magical, not set in the canon world, which makes it a little bit easier to adapt. So that's weird. This is like widely considered. This is, I think, the most popular fic on AO3 ever, or it's like top 3 at least. Yeah. So it is very, very popular. And the rumors are that it has been acquired for £2 million or more. I can't fault the author.
And why does that disappoint us? I think people might be like, oh, well, if you love All the Young Dudes, why would you be disappointed if it was traditionally published?
I have so many reasons why I would be disappointed. Number one is a concerning trend lately because like fan fiction has always been published. You know, everyone knows 50 Shades of Grey was Twilight fan fiction. You know, it goes back farther than that. Fan fiction exists in the publishing world. Concerningly, lately, publishers have been using the source material to promote the published fan fiction, which has never been the case before. And that's, I don't like for a lot of reasons. Number one, it makes like all fan fiction feel gross because not all fan fiction, but it makes you feel gross because it's like, why are we using it's in such a legal gray area, and it's like that feels creepy. So stop doing that. Also, J.K. Rowling sucks, and I am on the side of people who think you can engage in fandom and read fan fiction, and it's not promoting J.K. Rowling, or it's not doing anything worse. It's not making things worse. That's always been my stance. And when stuff like this happens, it makes it really hard to keep saying that because you're now using Harry Potter to sell your books. And I have already seen, like, after Manacled came out, I saw so many book influencers like, I'm going to read Harry Potter for the first time. And it's like, that sucks. Stop.
They've got these new Audible audiobooks and this whole thing.
The TV show.
With the full cast. Yeah.
Like, I don't like that. I'm willing to hold space that maybe Miss Kingbane won't do that. But I don't feel like that's the case. And also, lastly.
Especially when it's so, like, directly. I mean, I think the one thing that could save this is that many mainstream Harry Potter fans, or just people who like know something about Harry Potter, do not know about like Wolfstar.
Sure.
You know, or like even really like the Marauders era stuff.
Yeah.
So like that could be one saving grace, because it's not with like it's
not Draco
kind
Hermione. Which is more. Anyways, my last problem is that I think fan fiction, I think like genuinely my take is that you should never publish your fan fiction. I don't care what fandom it is. I really don't care how much they pay you. I don't care if you've completely erased the source material or you don't use it in your promo at all. That's my hot take. First of all, I think Ali Hazelwood, some of her worst stuff is like clearly fan fiction. I think she's a better writer. You know, like that's a big example. Rachel Reed, Game Changers is a terrible book. Like she's better when she's not writing fan fiction. So, you know, like I think it's just better to write something original if you're going to be original. And I think fan fiction, it's harder for it to stand on its own without those characters in that world. That's number one. But also, like, if you're going to put something out there for fans, I think it should stay there for free for fans. I think that's what I love about fandom. That's what I love about fan fiction, is that it exists outside of capitalism. And I don't like this. Not that I hate the author, because I guess like it's like I don't think I would say no if someone was offering me $2 million. Like I don't know how I could say no to that. But like I'm mad at this whole world that's happening where publishers are like looking for fan fiction authors to publish in this way, and it feels lazy, and it feels like
but it should be like the anomaly, right?
Yes.
Like it should be like the exception to the rule, instead of having these like industry people like scavenging AO3 looking for new source material. Also, like we've been on this podcast before saying one of the uses and like benefits of like writing fan fiction or publishing on AO3 or something like that is to like practice writing, try out your work. I mean, you could still use it to publish an original story that you want to try out.
Yes.
I mean, there's tons of original content and original characters all the time on AO3.
Yes.
So, you know, you could still use that to test out your own original stories.
Yes.
And see like how you could improve if you eventually wanted to get something published. It's more about like drawing heavily from the intellectual property, particularly of problematic people.
Correct.
And then when the book transitions to being traditionally published, it's so closely aligned. So,
yes,
you know.
So pass on this. I hope it's not true, but it's feeling truer by the day, and it just bums me out because I don't know. I just hate the discourse too. I don't want to go through it. So, anyways, boo to you, Miss Kingpin. But mostly boo to the publishing industry, which has stopped A, promoting authors, and B, finding new authors with no established, like platform to publish. Like that has declined on both levels. And that is why we're here. So that's my problem with them. Mostly boo to them and to capitalism. The end.
Boo.
Boo, tomato.
Yeah, boo to capitalism. Genuinely. Let's see. I have not updated my little spreadsheet, so I gotta go look on Storygraph.
Okay.
So I reread this book.
Yes, Project Hail Mary.
I also read a very exciting book that we're going to be recapping on our next episode, which I can go ahead and tease that our next episode, we are going to be recapping Devout by David Archuleta, which I'm so geeked out about. I'm so excited. And we'll be doing that with a very, very special surprise guest. So,
I'm back.
Not going to spoil it yet, but very special surprise guest for Devout by David Archuleta. So I will save my thoughts about that for next episode.
Great.
Yesterday, I listened to an amazing audiobook called Homeschooled, a Memoir by Stephen Merrill Block.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a mentally ill dad memoir. It is a mentally ill mom memoir.
Even better.
Even better. So, okay, this is about a guy named Stefan, who was a child of the 90s, or he was born in, no, he was a child of the 80s and 90s.
Sure.
And he, when he was like in elementary school, late elementary school, homeschooling had recently become legal in Texas, and his mother decided that she wanted to pull him out of school and homeschool him.
Okay.
And it's a book about homeschooling. He was homeschooled for a few years and he ended up going back to public school in high school. So the book is partially about his homeschooling experience and like kids who sometimes fall through the cracks of the system. And then like he had to go back to high school and like figure it out, you know?
Yeah.
After a pretty big gap in his education. I mean, what he describes is that his mom kept him up on his math lessons, but everything else was like self-guided. But really, the motivation for him being homeschooled is not so much about the homeschooling, but it's about his mom and her need to keep him as a baby, like as a child. It almost borders on like Munchausen by proxy.
Sure.
Like she goes to pretty extreme lengths to keep him small and to continue the illusion that he is her baby. It is really good. It is emotional and reflective. There's some funny moments. There's a happy ending, you know, like Stephen Merrill Block ends up okay, you know, so like that's the happy ending in his life. But it was not very long. It's only like 277 pages. I have so many thoughts about homeschooling. Our best friend was homeschooled. Her mom did a fantastic job. I actually, as I was listening to this book, I texted you guys and I was like, Emma, you really got lucky with this homeschooling stuff. My husband was homeschooled.
You were homeschooled?
I was homeschooled for like a couple years. At the end of I basically schooled myself. I mean, that's the thing. You
were old enough to take initiative. And had the desire to.
It was like a self-guided whatever. And I think I still probably miss a lot of stuff. But anyways, it's a discussion about homeschooling and also mother-son relationships. She's like the ultimate boy mom.
Sure.
So
gross.
Anyway,
I can't wait. I want to read this.
Big trigger warnings though.
Sure.
Suicidal ideation, suicide, parental loss. Tread carefully. Read the trigger warnings, the content warnings for this book before you delve in. There's some very heavy subject matter as well.
Sure. Naturally. I can't wait to read it.
Yes, that's what I read.
I love a good memoir that, like, I don't know. That's
like this one.
Easy to read.
And you'll
not
like
easy,
this.
but like, you know, that reads like a story, not just like facts.
Yes.
Great. Okay. Well, I'll come back when I read.
All right, what you got?
I have not finished a book in 10 days, but the last book I read. Anyways, I've been traveling, you guys.
Honestly, I've been on a really I've hit a slump. I'm 5 books behind.
It's not good,
on my goal.
I'm probably lowering my goal. and it's already low. So anyways, I did read though, It Had to Be Him by Adib Khorram. And it follows Ramin Yazdani, and he proposes to his boyfriend, and his boyfriend says no publicly and essentially calls him boring, like in not so many words, but calls him boring. And he's like, boring, I'll show you boring. And he gets drunk and he books himself a spontaneous solo trip to Italy. And while he's there,
Italy,
yes, of course, he runs into, yes, very similar vibes. He runs into his high school crush named Noah. They were like, you know, like when you're kind of friends with like a jock or something at school, and it's like you're not actually friends, but like they're nice to you. That's the vibe of but he had like the biggest
worst
crush on him.
possible situation.
Yes. Yeah. And at the time, Ramin, he wasn't out. He wasn't like confident. He like struggles with like body dysmorphia and like you know, stuff like that. So he like still feels that like lingering like, oh my god, I'm such a loser, and like Noah is so cool and hot and I'm in love with him. And he's there with his ex-wife and his son because his ex-wife is moving to Italy, and they've brought their son here to basically see like, does he want to move there or does he want to stay in America with his dad?
High stakes. Lord.
Very high stakes. So the whole family's there. And it was a really nice love story. Like I don't know, it was kind of like, I kind of like I like a slow burn as much as the next girl, but I also kind of like it when they get together kind of early, and it's like, then they have to figure it out because it's like, they have these different lives. There's a kid involved. There's family. They're like doing all this stuff in Italy because his wife is from Italy. So she has like family there, and they're like getting to interact, and Ramin and the kid and Noah. It's just like so much fun dynamics. And there's no third act breakup. So I really liked that. So if you don't like that, this might be a book for you. Their relationship had some like dom sub vibes. Not for everyone, but if you're into that, this might be for you.
But it's for you, isn't it?
No, actually, no. No, okay. But I think it's fun. Like, it's really not that aggressive. I just like, it's nothing that if you don't like that, like, it's not really my thing, but it didn't bother me. It was nice. Like, it was good to read, but, I think if you do like that, you would like this even better. So it was fun. And yeah, I thought it was cute. And it's very like summer in Italy, like, but you also get some flashbacks to when they were in high school, which I also like. So it was just kind of cute. I liked it.
A good beach read, maybe?
Yeah, a good beach read. It was just fun. And yeah, I've read it in one day. It's not very long. So yeah, I liked it.
Okay.
Thumbs up.
Hopefully and next time we will have more books to recommend to people.
Yeah. I wanted to say it's not like a queer awakening. Like Noah is also bisexual and open about that from the not in high school, so Ramin doesn't know that, but I just feel like there's a lot of things that you're not getting the tropes you normally get.
Not every story is a coming out story, or
yeah,
you know, it's fun. Like, you know, it's like a queer joy book, not a queer trauma book.
Yes.
Cool.
It was fun. So that's it. It's got nothing else. I have several books that you have recommended to me on my shelf right now from the library that I need to read before they're due back. So that includes Ladylike and The Sweet Spot. And I think that might be what
read The Sweet Spot before Ladylike.
Okay. So
I think Sweet Spot will pull you in more. If you're trying to get out of a slump, that one will pull you in more. Okay, so if for our next episode, it's coming out in a little under 2 weeks, we will be recapping Devout by David Archuleta. So if you want to read along and be prepped for the conversation, do so accordingly. And you can also go to redirectpodcast.com to listen to our back catalog, send us a message, and shop our merch.
Please do.
That's all.
We love merch. Okay. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.